One of the commonalities seems to be that a lot of your fans go to a ton of your shows. There's actually a couple of people here that came all the way from Washington, D.C.
No.
They've seen you 60 times in concert, right?
Really? These two? All the way from Washington, D.C. We know them. We have a restraining order.
Oh, very good. It seems to me, though, that you have a lot of fans that have seen you, dozens of times. They'll travel for you. And I think automatically of, the Grateful Dead and Deadheads. And it seems like you guys are that kind of band where you have that following. What do you think of that kind of level of fan support?
I mean, I like it. Like we've been seeing these guys for years, and it's like it's like our friends. I mean, in a weird way, you see these same people, and there's something about them that anchors you at every show because they sort of represent where you've been and the past and this like the loyalty and the support. And I try not to think this too much anymore. It used to be something that really made me a nervous stage performer, but I was always convinced that even when people had paid to come see us that we were working still for their attention or their affections or whatever, and I try not to think that way anymore because I think it's a better performance when you're projecting a confidence instead of like an insecurity or whatever. But sometimes having like these guys in the audience or our friends and family or whatever, it actually makes me feel less like we're working for their affections. I feel like I'm working for your affection now because you were talking to somebody else while I was telling you that. It wasn't her fault. Mary went over and talked to her. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Either way, though, I like it.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I think it's really cool to have like the long distance travelers and the long-term supporters. I think also the thing that makes us different than a lot of bands is that it's not just the music, right? Each show employs a lot of talking and storytelling and getting to know us, and in a way we're getting to know the audience too. That's what we're doing up there when we're telling stories. We're feeling the audience out, like we're figuring out what they want from us. And I think a good performer knows when to shut up and knows how to read an audience. And I think that I'm speaking for them, but I think that for them it isn't just about coming to see the same songs over and over and over again. It's the whole experience, and it's also them. Like there's other people in this audience who've been watching us for decades, who met for the last decade, for 25 years. That's crazy. They knew us when we were babies, but there's lots of people who have like met through our music and who they're friends now because of the music, and they all hang out with each other. So we totally encourage it. We think it's great.
Well, there's so many of them here. We've got time for a couple of questions from the audience. Does anybody have anything to ask Tegan and Sara? Don't be shy. I've already broken the ice for you.
Yeah, totally. Who's got a question? Go ahead. Just put your hand up. Yep.
I think it might have been Exclaim. You said one of your favorite albums of 2009 was You Say Party, We Say Die.
Yeah.
Foot Triple X.
Yeah.
Have you ever met the band, or have you ever played with them before?
You know what, I'm so ashamed to say, but I love them. We've never played with them before. Apparently I have met members of the band unknowingly on New Year's Eve when she was really drunk. Yeah. I was trying to have babies with them, actually. But they worked with Howard Redekop on that record, our co-producer on the last record, and we were just actually emailing about them, and he was like, "You've met them before, and they love you, and you guys should tour together." And I was like, "Oh God, we've met." But I love that about Vancouver. You can not meet people there, but I think they're fantastic, and they're definitely on the list of bands I'd like to tour with on this record for sure. So, yeah. Anyone else? Yes. I wrote This Is Everything, but a couple of the verses are Sara's lyrics that I stole from her. Shh, don't tell her. Anyone else? Oh, okay, you first. You put it up, and then you.
I read about a book that you guys were putting out. What can you tell us about that?
You can actually get the book tonight if you're going to the show, or you can order it online. It's a 3-book series called On In At, and it's a collection of photos and journals and essays. Oh, they're right here. You can see them here. I'll hold them straight here. These are the books. We started worked on it while we were finishing up the last record and also during our time off. So I think it's a really cool collection, and we're selling it, I think, quite reasonably for quite a reasonable price on the road because we just really want people to get it. Like, it's definitely a fan thing, and we knew that it might be something that people would want. And we're trying to do something that was cooler than just putting like photos and blogs on the internet and stuff like that. So they're really beautiful. They're super cool. And they're heavy, so if you have them near your bed and someone breaks into your husband, I think it would be safe to say it could be used as a defense mechanism, or a defense weapon. So, definitely. Thank you.
Is there an artist or a band that isn't around anymore that you wish you could have toured with?
Oh, wow. A band that I wish we could have toured with. Sometimes I feel like, you know, there were artists that really inspired us when we were first starting out that we certainly didn't have an opportunity to tour with at the time, that that now I sort of think, like, what would it have been like to, you know, like Canadian artists, for example, like Hayden was really influential on us when we were in high school. He put out a couple of records, and being Canadian and being in the Canadian scene and also being interested in acoustic music, but not necessarily like folk music, more like violent femmes type stuff, aggressive acoustic music, whatever. I wish sort of we'd been around during that era. Like, I know Hayden is obviously still around, you know, whatever, but I think that would have been really cool. Like, I wonder if our audiences would have been compatible and, you know, like that sort of thing.
Yes.